I'm not trying to be a Debbie fucking Downer here. Sorry, Debbie, whoever Debbie is. Sorry to those Debbies.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hello, I am Ramona Ramirez Higgins. I am coming to you live from my mom's art room up in Portland, Oregon. I have experienced a little bit of technical difficulties getting this set up on the road, but you know what? We're going to just give it our best shot. I'm happy to be here regardless. Tell you that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and you just traveled today. What an adventure.
You know me and traveling. I actually went to bed early last night for me, which was midnight, but I had everything done, or so I thought. Woke up, an hour before my alarm was supposed to go off. I'm so tired. Whatever, high class fucking problems, but I'm a little loopy. I feel a little emotional. What else can I say? I'm just worn out. And leaving the house this morning was still stressful, even though I was prepared. So I don't know, man. It's just a lot to accept about, like, when am I going to get it? This is just how it is.
Yeah, I think it's the second part. This is just how it is. Like, what if you never get it? What if you never have to get it? What if travel mornings are just hard?
Yeah,
It's like,
you're right. You're right.
when am I ever going to be dying to get out of bed and get to the gym? I've had like a few of those days of my life, but otherwise it's like the alarm goes off. And now I just expect it's like you are never going to want to get out of bed when the alarm goes off. You just aren't. So now I just expect that. And I spend 15 grumpy minutes shuffling around and then the day starts,
Yeah.
So I would love it if I was one of those people who like stretched and all the birds came and perched on my shoulders and we were
Dressed you.
ready for, yeah. But that has not been my story yet. But I can get into my day once I'm up. But why is bed cozier in the morning? God damn it. Why is like 6 a.m. the best time to be in bed instead of out of it? It's really weird.
Is it, or is it just colonialism and white supremacy that tells us that we have to do that? See, that's what I swear to God, if you reframe everything in that lens, you're like, where did this concept come from? Who came up with this concept? Who was the one that decided XYZ was the way to be? I'm not saying we have to discuss that right now. I'm tired. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm just saying I invite myself to question concepts that I historically have used to judge myself with instead, and ask, where did that come from? Who gave you that message? You weren't born with that message. Where did that message come from?
I think mine is anxiety informed because bed is cozier. It's less colonialism and more like, what if I get out of bed and ruin this day?
Oh,
That's
God.
the first thought that I have to like. But I mean, whatever. Again, it's like I'm responsible for my second thought and my first action. That is always my first thought. Like, oh, you woke up again? How are you going to ruin it now? And
Oh,
now
Margie.
there's very little. No, but I don't need to be pitied. It is
It's
that
not pity. It's
nothing,
my
it's
heart
like,
breaking for someone who I love dearly. It kills me to think of you thinking yourself like that. Like, that's where it comes from.
but that puts too much, it gives it too much credit. It's
Got
like it's just a dumb thought that is deeply programmed and wrong. And with all of my therapy and 12-step work and all that stuff, there's a very short time differential between that first thought seeming real and the second thought taking over of like, oh, right, no, just get up, start the day. Yeah, I don't want to even invest so much emotional energy in that first thought because then it makes it seem like there's something to work on there. It's like how some people have to like crack their back to get their day started. Like there's just like weird things that a body holds that need to be addressed first thing in the morning, and then you can get on with it. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. And
It's just anxiety.
Yeah,
It's just
for
boring
sure.
old anxiety.
And to use that acronym that we both learned in 12-step rooms, HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. I am so tired. I should not be listening to
Mm.
anything my brain says right now about myself or the world at large. You're right. I'm powerless over the thought. And then what I can do is say, Ramona, honey, you're really tired.
And I feel like tired just amplifies everything.
Everything.
Anything I'm feeling is at a whole 11 if I'm overtired. So yeah, it's like, let me get 6 to 8 hours of sleep and like before I take any action on whatever my thoughts are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hear that. I think, yeah. Is there something going on like planetarily? Like
Dude, I don't
feel
know. Yeah, you want to know what's going on planetarily? Every fucking society on our earth is out of its mind right now. So we're collectively in a trauma. I'm not trying to be a Debbie fucking Downer here. Sorry, Debbie, whoever Debbie is. Sorry to those Debbies. Yeah, there's a lot going on inside our metaphorical homes and outside of our metaphorical homes. So all of the resources that we might have. See, I'm too tired to even be going down this philosophical stuff.
I mean,
That was me
this is what
rewinding.
I love it. This is why the housewives have great value because
Yes.
for all of the real world stuff going on, we can boil it all down to 2 yachts. When
Thank
things
God.
get bad, everyone is all up in arms about being on 2 yachts. Oh my God. It's absurd.
I was just there to look at how friggin' darling Kiki's bathing suit was and her little.
Oh my
See,
God.
Stephanie, that is a cute hair flip. What Kiki was doing, the little bow, that. Kiki was wearing her bow and her bathing suit. Stephanie's clothes wear her, much like Dorit. They're both play actors. I'm
Yeah,
going to come
Kiki
at
was
the rest of this
adorable.
from Place of Love. Yeah, she was so adorable. So adorable.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was, see, am I objectifying Larsa Pippen if I also agree with Marisol that her butt is mesmerizing and I also, too, would like to just feel it? I just want to feel it. I just want to feel it with my hands. Like, what else would I feel it with? But just, it was a mesmerizing butt. Fake or otherwise, I don't give a shit. It looked, I was captivated. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a work of art. She has put artists to work on it and they have done an
Good
outstanding
point.
job.
Yes.
And I don't think it's objectifying because I think Larsa has created it to be admired,
You're right.
So
That's okay. See?
because I got skeeved for a second when the deckhand was like, that's why I like to help, hubba hubba. And I was like, ew. And then I was like, you know what? I bet Larsa is like, hell yeah, return on
Yeah.
investment. That's the kind of
100.
response I want.
Totally.
So great.
Totally.
All good.
Totally. Okay.
So let's get into it.
Please.
It's the Real Housewives of Miami. And because I knew you weren't taking notes today, I remembered to write down the title of the episode,
so
season
sweet.
7, episode 8, Dueling Yachts.
Like, quite literally.
but-
Okay. Yes.
But we start on the dock with Martina. Why did I write Marina? I guess because they're in a marina. Anyways, I don't know. Martina and Julia are standing on the dock, and oh God, here we go. Julia's still upset with Guerdy, saying it was so petty what she did at her party. And Julia is now also mad at Adriana for suggesting that Julia hash it out with Guerdy. But weirdly, Julia was like, I'm mad at Adriana for suggesting I hash it out. And then Julia reports she went back into the party to hash it out with Guerdy. So, okay. And she asked a reasonable question. She said, what was the point of doing this? Then she just talked over Guerdy. And Guerdy rightly noted, you're not here to listen, so you can get out of my party. And then she made a shitty comment about her sneakers being an insult to her cocktail chic dress code. Then Martina, missing the point entirely, defends designer sneakers. So here's how this episode starts. Julia's next line of attack is saying that she was completely confused how Guerdy could still be mad at her, saying, I apologized for the water. And that is not the same as giving the person you apologize to time to forgive you and time to trust you again. And Martina said she was confused by Guerdy using this moment to be petty like that. She got a clean bill of health when 20 years ago her diagnosis would have been a death sentence. And this is what she does at the event?
I am so confused as to how someone could even think like this, especially someone who has also gone through cancer. So Martina is basically saying, oh, I had cancer. It didn't end up like it would have 20 years ago. So surely Guerdy doesn't have to be this way because it's not 20 years ago. I thought it was so wildly, it was foul. It was foul. Yeah, of course advances have been made, but she didn't know what was going to happen. I don't know. Am I crazy?
No, but I feel like this Martina is a little bit saying what I was harping on last week of like, you survived cancer. Your family is recovering from cancer, and you are putting up text messages about dinner with Captain Sandy. I too am confused. I too feel like we've lost the thread. But this is why Guerdy is a housewife and I'm not, because she can survive cancer and also hold space for petty text messages about a Captain Sandy dinner invite, you know?
I have a way to flesh out what happened, what we did not see. So it wasn't actually an event that technically had anything to do with Guerdy and cancer and Guerdy recovering from cancer. This event was sponsored by The Knot, and it was just a party. I don't know. I didn't bring it up last week, but I did notice some signage, some things that could have alluded to sponsorship somewhere in the room. I know that everyone at the cast was saying, this night is supposed to be about cancer. What is she doing? What is she doing? And Guerdy also sold it as a celebration of life. So
she did.
And she
made a donation to a cancer
She
charity.
did, but it wasn't a fundraiser that night. It was just a party that was sponsored by The Knot.
Okay.
So on their...
that was not clear.
Right. It wasn't because of fucking producers, dude. Okay?
Okay.
But so someone made some snarky comment on, I think, Guerdy's social media page. And The Knot, their official account, came in and said, this was a fucking party. It had nothing to do with cancer. We are confirming what Guerdy is saying, essentially. So I don't fucking know. Like, we weren't there. I don't know. But
what did Guerdy say? They're confirming. What did Guerdy say?
It was not a cancer fundraiser. It was not a party to raise awareness about cancer. It was a party for, I think, obviously Guerdy's some sort of spokesperson or brand ambassador for The Knot, which would make total sense. She's an event planner and a fantastic one at that. It wasn't about cancer. I see how it's confusing because there was the check presentation, but it's like the people that sponsored the party,
Russell,
right?
And the 3 other cancer survivors.
God.
Like,
I know
her focus in that, I guess, and you could be right. It could all be editing, but her focus in her confessional and in the episode, she invited people to a celebration of life. She donated in her confessional. She talked about donating that check. At the party, she wept beautifully, thanking her family for standing by her. I'm confused because if it really was just a sponsored event for The Knot, that got lost completely in cancer, you know? And I want to celebrate her fucking cancer survival.
Same.
She is a warrior and a hero. And my God.
I meant to have like the exact quote from The Knot, and I meant to have the comment that prompted them to reply and basically say, like, everything Guerdy says is fucking true and we're here to back it up. And this was our party hosted by her. So everyone STFU. I mean, again, I'm willfully on Guerdy's side in this.
I love
again,
Guerdy. Yeah.
Because,
but
you know, Adriana says it later in the episode. The water was worse than text messages on the fucking wall.
Yes, but Adriana also says, Julia says what Guerdy did was wrong. And Adriana says, I'm not contesting that. But what I am saying is that the other one was worse. And I think that to me is the right take. Because it's like, this was silly. That was a weird choice to do that. And Guerdy even seems to regret it later. She's like, you know, she clearly isn't like rah rah champion. I feel great. I made the right move and got what I wanted out of it. It was just, she was really upset and flailing and made a stab at something, and it had an impact. But, either way, we don't need Martina condemning
Dude,
Guerdy standing next to the woman who threw water in her face. Like, that's a challenging stage picture. So, oh well.
they're both insufferable. I'm
Those
tired and
kids are
I'm not
cute,
in a good
though.
mood.
I
Yes,
get it.
the
It's
kids are cute.
fine.
The kids are cute.
Yes,
They
the
are.
kids
They're
are
real
cute.
cute. Mm-hmm,
They are.
mm-hmm.
Then we go to Stephanie and Lisa. I wrote at Stephanie's stupid castle. Stephanie's character is just utterly uninteresting to me, and I think we're going to need her to set herself up this whole first season for her inevitable fall from grace down the line. I don't know what that will be, but this is just her bragging about this is the house that Masood used to share with his ex, and she spent more money remodeling it than they would have spent on a brand new home, but she doesn't want any reminders of his old life. So she's even gone as far as moving the pool. Like, why? This is so wasteful and like insane, but okay. And then I got grossed out when she said that she wants a giant closet, wine cellar, gym, spa, glam room, and I want staff quarters to have their own entrance so they don't have to use my entrance. And I was like,
Horrified,
"You're fucking
disgusted.
gross."
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you fucking care,
100%.
dude? A door is a door. Or am I just like so poor that
No.
only poor people say a door is a door? Good Lord.
It's classist and disgusting.
And if you're going to have help, like there's going to be people in your space. Otherwise, don't have a staff. I don't know. I was at my limit with Stephanie this episode. I couldn't with her.
The house was so Persian that she thought a genie would come out. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you
Girl.
fucking kidding me? She's just Stephanie's gonna Stephanie.
Yes.
I'm not
that
gonna
is the
Stephanie.
truth.
Stephanie's gonna Stephanie.
And then Larsa warns Stephanie against continuing to bring Todd up to Alexia. Stephanie says she's not okay with Alexia belittling her and putting her down, and says that she's never been to a good event with these women. And Larsa promises that this upcoming yacht weekend will be better, even though at this point they have to divide the group onto 2 separate yachts because everyone is fighting and the tension is so high that they cannot occupy the same 100-foot yacht. Like, it's just insane. They have to have 200-foot yachts. So that's what's happening. Kiki has a guest list. Larsa has a guest list. They called Marisol, who was definitive that she did not want to be on a yacht with Adriana. And so they've abided by that. And that will cause hilarious comedy in the closing act of this episode.
I liked Larsa's confessional look. I loved the black velvet. I loved the rhinestone bows. Kiki knows the owner of the yacht club, right? Didn't she establish that last year? So
Oh, yeah.
I think
she
that-
dated him or something?
I think so. Yeah. Simon, is that his name? Anyway, that's rad, man. On-demand yachts.
Side by side, super yachts. Amazing.
Yes.
Then we head to Alexia's month-to-month rental mansion that she and Frankie are sharing in this interim time in her life when she just doesn't know what the next chapter holds. And Peter comes over, and I thought it was kind of sweet. He gives Frankie this big, long hug, and I do believe that he loves his brother. Like, I know he has lots of faults and flaws, but I do believe he carries enormous guilt and has a protective instinct for that kid. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't tell.
Yes, I agree with you. I do I see tremendous love. I see a lot of love between Peter and Frankie. I really do. They love each other a lot. Mm-hmm. And I believe that,
Yeah.
Alexia says that Peter has been affected by the accident, and you can see it. You can see it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this weirdly gave me some empathy for them. So we find out that Frankie had been very ill and was hospitalized with diverticulitis. And I wrote in the notes, it now has to be controlled with diet. Shout out gallstones.
Oh my God, no.
Poor Ramona.
That's fine.
But Alexia and Peter, and I believe this, that they both experienced PTSD seeing Frankie in the hospital. And apparently Peter immediately broke into tears walking into the hospital. Like that prior injury came rushing back to both of them. And the hospital is not a safe place, and certainly not when Frankie's the patient. And Alexia then reflects on how much Peter has been through, Frankie's injury, his dad died, all these bad decisions he made in his life that kept Alexia from assigning Peter to be Frankie's guardian after she dies. And Peter, to his credit, says, I would not have assigned that responsibility to me either. But now he's 32 and Alexia sees him as more mature and expects that he will be responsible for Frankie when she dies. It's rather morbid, but also somehow kind of sweet.
Okay, so I don't have Alexia all figured out. I can sit here and think that I do. She just enables him. She enables him. She coddles him. She coddles him. She had enough knowledge to know, you're not going to be his guardian. Shall that decision have to be made? And the fact that he agreed with her, okay, all right. I acknowledge it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and part of me wonders if I can't imagine what it's like to be Peter in that situation. And I feel like that kid should have been rushed into intensive therapy. And I wonder if a lot of his acting out and weird behavior is survivor's guilt or some mess of that. Because I don't know. I believe what Alexia said about their relationship as kids, that even though Frankie's the baby, Peter looked up to him. And then Peter made a decision that had an impact that is irreversible. And I don't know how you live with that. That would be
I don't know
very
how I would
challenging.
live with that either. I really don't. I probably
think I
would.
would
I was
do
going to say,
cocaine all the
Ramona,
time
you
as well
absolutely know what
for
you
a
would
while.
do. You would shop, you would do drugs, you would drink,
Yeah, I would do any
probably
drug
some
to
other
not
things.
feel
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yay.
Then we get to see Nicole. Dr. Nicole makes an appearance. Guerdy and Dr. Nicole have lunch. And we find out that Nicole's baby was 6 to 7 weeks early and had to be in the NICU for 10 days. But now she's in the 90th percentile in weight, and they show some pictures of her,
So
and she's
cute.
so cute. My God, if they do a Next Gen Miami in 20 years, that cast is going to be, everyone's babies are so cute. And Guerdy says she recognizes that Nicole has been on an emotional roller coaster with the sudden death of her dad last year, followed by the premature birth of her daughter, and now she's in postpartum. And Guerdy wants to be there for Nicole as she gets back to who she is, like Guerdy is trying to do for herself. So I thought that was real.
I love their
Sweet. Team
friendship. It
Guerdy.
seems genuine. It seems even more genuine than, say, Kyle and Erica, Kyle and Dorit back when they were friends before the last season, Kyle and anybody. These two seem like friends. And I don't know. Obviously, what I'm saying reeks of parasocial whatever, and we can only see what we see on TV. But it's just that it just seems like an energy. I really love how they're in each other's corners to the best of my ability that I see. I was glad to see her back. Then they FaceTime Stephanie, and we learn that Stephanie dated Nicole's husband, Anthony, 20 years ago. Ugh. And and then Stephanie, of course, like we had the closet comparison last week. Now we get to have the hair color comparison this week. Oh, I used to be blonde. I was gonna be a redhead. Okay. You know what? Who am I to judge what people talk about?
Yeah. And the private jet comes in again.
Oh, God. Yeah, Stephanie has to say, I have a bigger jet. Dude, this woman's real insecure, isn't she? You have to be really insecure in order to talk the way she talks. Or is she just housewifing and I'm just a naive little babe in the woods? Por qué no los dos?
I don't know anything about her except money. I know about her Birkin bags and her private jets and her home renovation, but I don't know anything else about her. And
A
that
wall
feels
of Birkins.
so weird.
She's asking for her house to get broken into, just like all the other housewives whose houses get broken
It
into because they
will.
talk about all this shit.
Yeah.
I am not victim blaming. I am just saying, ooh, did I victim blame? Was that bad? Oh, I'm overanalyzing everything I'm saying because I'm tired.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a pattern. So if you're going to broadcast where and how much material wealth you have in your home, someone's going to break in.
Oh
It'll
my
probably
God.
be Dorit and PK. So like
Allegedly.
get your cameras ready. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. They only need a
Holy
couple
shit.
of those to get out of debt. I didn't realize how wildly expensive a Birkin bag was, but they've put the number up on the screen a couple times during this show, and I can't even remember what it was. I just remember I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like
Nicole's Birkin bag
3
was
cars.
$96,680.
Exactly. I was like, "Good God, okay." For you to like have a lip gloss lose its top in and get, it just like I can't. Anyways, Guerdy tells Nicole, apparently Nicole was supposed to go to Guerdy's party but didn't make it, but Guerdy reports that she did project text messages and that Julia got embarrassed by it and a number of the women walked out, and she appreciated Stephanie for wanting to understand what had happened, but Alexia came for Stephanie for being an ass kisser. And Nicole says she understands Stephanie's perspective, that she's trying to gather information about a situation. And she said that's what friends do. Then you tell the truth about how you feel about how they're handling it. And I miss
I do too.
Dr. Nicole.
Yeah.
She's great.
And I loved that she told Guerdy that she was out of bounds. That is what a true friend does. Like, I love you, and I'm not sure this was a choice that I can be on board with that you made. Friend, was that really you doing your best? Was that really who you are? And Guerdy totally gets it. That's why I thought they were such good friends, was this particular exchange in this scene. That's trust in a relationship.
Yeah. Because Nicole told Guerdy, like, you should not have thrown the facelift around when you were trying to make your case. Like, you don't have to say you went to France while Martina got a face, or you went to get a facelift while Martina was in chemo. And Guerdy has a confessional where she does sort of, you can see that like discomfort of like, I did something that I believed in and I did not get the outcome I want and I hate it. She says she's not proud of her choice to project the text messages. It was not her first choice of how to deal with it, but basically she felt so unheard that she just went and took a huge swing and went scorched earth, and it brought her, she does not appear settled or satisfied. And that is, I think that's a lesson that I have only learned the hard way. So my heart goes out to Guerdy. It seems like she's aware this was not successful, so she might back off in the future before taking it this far. But again, she got water thrown in her face.
I cannot relate to what Guerdy just said at all. Not even a little bit. No, please.
Really?
Oh, I was like, oh God, yes, it's right, and it's everything you were saying last week. It's everything you were saying last week. In the moment, in your mind, you think it's gonna feel good. In the moment, you have that little bit of satisfaction. You sit with it for a while, and you're like, ah, shit. Oh well.
Yeah, and then Nicole says she doesn't understand how they've gotten here because she remembers that the day after Guerdy's cancer surgery, she and Julia came over, brought smoothies, and got in bed and hung out with Guerdy. And now they're in this place where Julia's like so combative, flagrantly like rude. They sort of assign it to Julia being thirsty and being a pick-me girl and trying to get in with the cool girls, Alexia and Marisol, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's gross. I know that.
Have Alexia and Marisol been historically, have they been judgy and critical of Guerdy, or am I crazy?
I literally can't remember. I had so much trouble remembering relationships in this episode. Like, I have to ask you about, weren't Marisol and Adriana really good friends? Like, I've lost track of who's who to who. So I
Yeah, I
can't remember,
wonder if
honestly.
Julia is like aligning herself with people that she thinks don't hold Guerdy in the highest esteem. I'm not sure, so that she can feel
Oh.
safe. Like she can have her bias about Guerdy confirmed by two other people and not feel like she's just out there on an island. I'm not an asshole if I think this way about Guerdy. See, Alexia and Marisol do too. I don't know, dude. I'm riffing. I don't know.
No, you're probably right, because something isn't like Julia doesn't seem settled either. You know when you like know that you are 100% embodying your truth and you're completely clear on what you think and what you believe. And even if you're rattled and bothered by how other people receive it, it's like, no, but I know this, I'm an immovable force. I know I'm standing on solid ground here. Julia doesn't seem like that. She seems like she's still campaigning for approval and teammates and all this stuff. It feels floppy and desperate. Whereas Guerdy, even though she has made a couple weird choices, she's like, no, but I'm clear that like I'm in the right. Throwing water on me was wrong, and I'm not going to back away from being pissed off about that. So
Yeah,
there.
something's up. No shit, Sherlock, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
She keeps trying to justify it instead of just like, I don't know. When I'm not sure of myself, I do the same thing. I justify, I create the case for my opinion. But when I'm certain about something, I just state the fact and then sit down because there's nothing else to fucking say. Like I don't need to fight for something if I know if I have some certainty about whatever. Anyways, Guerdy did ask at the end of this, she asked, what would it take for Nicole to come back to the group? And Nicole said TBD. And I was like, yay, that seems like the door is open. Maybe when she's a little deeper into motherhood and is in a rhythm, she can come back on the
Yeah.
show.
I,
That would
I
be
mean, I
cool.
have a feeling her husband's probably kind of shady, but I love Dr. Nicole. So I'm just going to let myself fucking have that for right now. Ideally, one doesn't watch the housewives to get all be in your bonnety about their politics and their whatever. At some point, I have to accept the things I cannot change. I am watching the housewives. I'm watching the housewives. I'm not watching moral compi. You know what I mean? If I get one, oh yay, what a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But oh please, friends, save me. I'm flailing right now. Let's get
Listen,
on the yacht
let's get
with
on some
Kiki.
yachts. Let's
Yeah,
get on a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
of yachts. Okay. So we start with Kiki's yacht. She boards her yacht and says she loves yacht life, but doesn't know how to swim. And that's insane. Whatever. But again, these are all, it's like, why do I care? And I'll tell you why I care. Because my dad, I've talked about it before, was a sailor, which is why I hate sailing and I hate the ocean. But my dad sailed around Cape Horn. You know all those videos on TikTok of like the North Sea that like, or like high seas that are dangerous and treacherous. Anyways, my dad doesn't know how to swim, and he enjoyed booze on a boat. And he sailed around freaking Cape Horn with a torn Achilles tendon. It tore while he was on the boat. So he was in a boot, doesn't know how to swim, sailing the highest of high seas. So when I heard Kiki say, I don't know how to swim, I was like, get off that boat.
Right?
Meanwhile,
They're in
they're
like
in like a
5 feet of
gorgeous, like
water.
flat bay.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it does not apply. But again, that's what our podcast is about. Like if I have a strong emotional reaction, I can investigate why. And guess what? It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
Kiki.
Oh, my shit with Stephanie has nothing to do with
Yeah.
Stephanie. It doesn't have anything to do with Stephanie, does it?
Yeah. But if I ran into Kiki, I would never say like, hey, you should learn how to swim. I would say, hello, I enjoy you. Like it's not, that's not,
You're like, Kiki, my dad, Cape Horn. Don't let it happen to you. Please.
that just, it would sound like a Mad Lib to her. She'd be like, what? I literally go out 10 feet from land, wrapped up with another
Right.
yacht with a full
Right.
staff on both boats. Like, it's fine. Then Larsa boards her yacht, and she said she loves yachting because there's a crew, there's jet skis, and endless champagne. Okay, so her life is hard. Then we're back on Kiki's yacht, and Lisa arrives with, is this a new friend of Ebony?
I was wondering.
I don't know, because she seems to know some other gals in the group, and she wasn't featured very heavily, but she was. I mean, this is a big deal for. This is a weekend trip on 2 yachts. So if Ebony made the cut for this, I wonder if we'll see her again.
So Stephanie arrives, and I have to say, like, if we were going around the table playing Lisa's dumbass game, and they said, Ramona, what do you like about Stephanie? I would say, I like the 2-piece outfit she's wearing right now. I think it's really cute, and I think she looks really good in it.
That is so generous
Thank
and
you.
lovely of you.
Thank you. You're
She
right.
did look really cute.
You're right. It
Yeah.
is. It is.
But Stephanie won't be staying because she's going to Canada with her husband for date night. They're just, once again, just going to make a massive carbon footprint to go have dinner and come turn right around and come back.
Or are they doing something nefarious? Are they really going to Canada for dinner? Are they going to Canada for dinner? Let's just go to Canada for dinner. I mean, I don't know, man. Best dim sum I've ever had was in Canada, but like, would I take a private jet up there to have dim sum one weekend? No. And then come back the next day? No.
I feel like if I was of ultra high net worth, like sometimes I get a craving for a croissant at this very specific bakery in Paris. And if I was ultra high net worth, I wonder if I was like, you know what? You don't have anything left to do for the rest of this day. Let's fly 14 hours, wake up in Paris, do a croissant, and come home. I have no idea what I would do.
Can I come with you if you do that? I will throw everything I've
God,
ever said
yes.
about a private jet out of the window and then
See, that's
come with
the
you.
thing.
See,
It's like-
full fucking hip.
If I had access, I would find a way to justify it because I just would.
Yeah.
Then we're on Kiki's yacht, and Kiki tells them that Guerdy is going to be joining them. Oh, on Kiki's yacht, we have Kiki, Lisa, Adriana, and Ebony. Kiki tells them Guerdy will be joining them later tonight for dinner, which will be hosted on Larsa's yacht. And she says it's unfortunate that they have to be on 2 yachts because of all this fighting. And Kiki makes the choice to tell Adriana that Marisol did not want to be on a yacht with her. And Adriana is so drunk already. And her dialogue in this episode is my favorite thing that has happened this season. So she goes, you know what the problem is with Marisol? She has no empathy. Her with her dry, bony, shriveled up, dry ass. Then cutting that off, there's a cute boy that rides by on a bicycle. And without a breath, she goes, her dry, bony, shriveled up, dry. Hi, daddy. You want to come on board? There's a party here tonight. Party for 3. I was like, oh my drunk. Like, it is only when my brain is soaked with alcohol can I make a hard turn like that from like condemning a friend of mine's dry ass to immediately calling a young man daddy and inviting him on my boat. It's great. Adriana delivers this episode.
She really does. So this was a very Hochstein light episode, which I appreciate, and also it made what she did say in this scene all the more effective. She says, correctly, I might add, dolphins are rapists. I want to say, so are otters. I can't remember if it's a river otter or a sea otter, but otters and dolphins, super cute, real fucking nefarious mammals. Real fucking nefarious. Just
Otter?
yes. Google it.
Oh no.
Like I said, I can't remember if it's a
Oh God, I don't want
if
to.
it's a sea or whatever, but like so now like whenever I see a dolphin, I'm all rapist. Whenever I see an otter, I'm not sure if you're a sea otter or a river otter, but I know what you do. It's crazy, dude. It's weird. I didn't like learning that. I didn't appreciate it, and now I can't unlearn it. And so when Lisa said it, I was like, oh shit.
Well, and then Ebony confirms it, and she's like, oh, dolphin rape is a serious thing. And I was like, what is happening? Can we fucking not, you guys? God.
Yeah, I know. And it's not funny, but it's
But it is.
But it is.
The phrase dolphin rape.
That's what I'm saying.
Is, again, it's a Mad Lib, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But I did, during the pandemic, when we were at, like, some friends and I, we would gather on Zoom or Netflix. What was that, like, Netflix group watching
Oh, yeah,
feature
that's
that they
right.
had during the pandemic? We would watch these obscure movies, and one of them was about some, like, dolphin, I don't know, some, like, dolphin lab. And the dolphin was just like super horny and kept trying to bone the scientists. And like, it was really weird. The pandemic was a weird time,
Oh
and
my
that movie did
God.
not make it better.
It was
So
so
I was
weird.
aware of dolphin rape, but like this was just so random. And I was like, oh my God, these housewives are amazing. They know nothing about like really serious things in the world, but they are all instantly gravely concerned about warning each other about dolphin rape. You know dolphins rape, don't you? Yes, dolphin rape is a very big deal. It's a serious thing. I was like, oh my God, just have your avocado toast and shut up.
Predatory aquatic
Don't bring
mammals.
Ugh. And then, so after this 5 seconds of individual yachts, the yachts pull side by side and raft up. They tie to each other. So it's like, okay, this was dumb, but whatever. And then Adriana notes to the group that she's drunk already. She goes, I better eat. But immediately just continues bashing Marisol and goes, Marisol, the ringleader with her damn dry knees, does not allow people to make their own opinions. She said opinions, but it sounded like penis. And I was dying laughing. And I don't love a drunk. When Sutton gets drunk, I get pissed off. But when Adriana gets drunk, I was dying laughing the whole time.
It's so crazy to reconcile the two sides of Adriana. Not that they're even two different sides. When I said two sides, I'm like, no, that's not. She's got one and a half sides, but she studies psychology. She's so smart. She can say things that are so articulate. You'd think you were hearing it from a therapist. And then she gets wasted on the open seas and like lets loose on Marisol's knees, for Christ's sake.
For the whole episode, she was obsessed, fixated.
I mean, I love therapy. She's taking psychology. We can both be petty, but I'm not coming for someone's knees. I'm not coming for anyone like that for physicality. It's like, it's low-hanging fruit. Adriana, you're better than that. But she's also not.
But she knows that. That's why I loved her the next morning, where she was like, oh dear, whoops,
Yes.
That was a disaster. Like, that's what I kind of loved about the whole arc of this, is it was this relentless wrinkly knee tirade for 12 hours or so. And then the next morning she was like, well, I hope today goes differently, because that was not great. And then she says about Marisol, she's like, the fake Birkin bags and cubic zirconia rings will not absolve you from the evilness of your soul. It was so weird. I was like, oh my God, you are literally lost in the sauce. And I love it.
What does Adriana know about Marisol that we don't? And if there's nothing, what is so triggering about Marisol that Adriana, she's in her crosshairs, man? Like, what is it?
I think her feelings are just hurt. She heard that Marisol explicitly said, I do not want to be on a boat with that Adriana. And Adriana's feelings are hurt. Add one full bottle of champagne equals wrinkly, dry ass, bony knees for 12 hours.
But wasn't the beef?
It's just, she just has. What?
What wasn't the beef like before this, though? Because for Marisol not to want to be on the boat with Adriana, did I forget something that happened?
No, they give us like a flashback of Marisol saying like, she's always coming for me, but it's nothing. There was like a moment where she kind of sniped at her on the narcissist party bus, and I don't know what their deal is. And weren't they like the best of friends, like back in the Mama Elsa days? Weren't Adriana and Marisol like an inseparable pair? I can't remember. Sorry if I'm getting my canon wrong, but I felt like there were, but I could be mistaking it. Maybe it was Alexia.
Who knows? Who has the time to go back and watch those early seasons? And now I can't stomach Leah Black. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Her husband is, I know he just passed, but you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. Although I hate that saying, because not all dogs have fleas. I think it's rude.
I don't know anything about her husband, and I don't think I need to know. I imagine it has something to do with our political sphere.
Oh, it has to do with Epstein. It all goes back to Epstein these days. Like, okay, that's it. That's not why anybody called. Let's move on. Let's take a break from all that shit. Keep yachting. Let's keep yachting. Just keep yachting. Keep yachting.
Let's plant the seed for a further fight. where Alexia makes a joke. Stephanie says to Alexia that she barks, and Alexia says, well, so do you. You're like a Chihuahua. I'm like a Rottweiler, which she says with like levity and pride. So that happened, and it's on camera. So it's weird what happens later, but that's Alexia.
Yeah.
Then we go back to Kiki's yacht. God, this is Adriana's episode, and I love it so much. Kiki waves hello to the other yacht from hers. Adriana comes tearing up and goes, what up, bitches? And then she goes at Marisol, you're the one who induces craziness. You don't know how to be nice. Fuck off, you old whore.
Good God.
She's just like, that is, Kiki said hello, and this is what Adriana says following it. Like, it was amazing. Yeah, everyone just agrees that Adriana is drunk, and Lisa tries to tell us that drinking is poison, which is why she stopped, except for today. And then they show her taking a sip of a cocktail in her confessional, and then we cut back to the scene on the boat where she is also sipping a cocktail. So, okay.
I just looked to the wall next to me, like thinking I was looking at someone else, going like, do you hear this? Do you hear this shit? Do you hear these ridiculous people that we're talking about and what they say? What?
It's amazing.
I know. It's incredible. Yeah, this was a good episode. Honestly.
And then we have Stephanie's tender arrives to take her back to shore. And then we cut back to this weird camera angle. Clearly, Adriana was in some weird part of the boat, and the camera crew followed her there to catch her screaming at the yacht staff. She goes, they lured my best friend in there because she's trying to be with the cool girls. One day she's going to realize they're not cool girls. They're like mean girls. And the staff is just like, okay. Like,
oh my
they
God.
just are sort of staring at her with their mouths half open. Like, what is this? Oh my God. And then Stephanie says goodbye to everyone and boards her tender to leave this party as Adriana yells now directly at Marisol, get plastic surgery on your bony knees because they need it. Your wrinkled knees.
Oh my God,
It's just
dude.
insane.
It is so
Relentless.
she's going to be 60. Come on. Stop it. Adriana, at least if you're going to go for Marisol, like, do it from your, she's so fucking smart. She's so smart. She speaks so many languages. She's working on her 3rd degree. She's smart and cultured and obviously contains multitudes because my God, what are you doing? Don't do that. Don't be misogynistic. Like fuck someone up, fine, but don't, that's low. It's so lazy. It's lazy.
It's drunk. It's like I can almost relate to what's going on with her. Like, I've been in this position too where I'll have a really clear thought, but if I'm drunk, I can't get it out right. So I'll just keep trying. Your bony knees, your wrinkly knees, your plastic surgery, you have a dry ass. No, your knees are dry. No, your butt is dry. Like, they're in my head. It's like this laser focused insult. But when I'm drunk, all the words come out in like a pile and I have to sort through them to be like, wait, I want this one, not that. No, not that one. And it's just a mess. And so I think Adriana's just spending the whole day trying to get out the one thing she's wanted to say since she sat down with her first glass of champagne.
Oh,
It's so sad.
Adriana. So Marisol says she sees me and something sets her off. She was an asshole to me at the narcissist party and she keeps snapping at me. She's an asshole. Take it to the bank. No lies were told, I guess. Like,
Oh, God. Then we head into this James Bond sequence, which did nothing for me. I was like, wow, here's some really just filler. They all talk about their Bond girl names. They're not interesting or funny. And then the girls come and attack with water guns. Marisol is humorless about it because Adriana is part of the fun, and Marisol is not interested in Adriana having any fun. And Adriana calls Marisol the Wicked Witch. The minute you spray her with water, she starts melting.
God.
And she's just absolutely wasted. They're squirting water guns in her mouth, and she's like tossing her head around like a porno. Like, she's she's at the bottom of that champagne bottle and it's all the bubbles and booze are hitting and this is what we're looking at. So there you go.
Then Adriana and Julia go for their little chat, and Julia asks Adriana, why didn't you stand up for me at Guerdy's event? And Adriana said, well, somebody needs to mediate. Julia says, what Guerdy did was wrong. And Adriana says, it was wrong. I am not condoning it.
She was weirdly lucid in this moment.
She was, wasn't she? I wonder if did they tape it before did they edit this in?
No,
What?
because remember they sat down in the cockpit and she goes, why are we so far apart? Why are we so far apart? And then Julia goes, why didn't you stand up for me? And Adriana drops in and she's like, what Guerdy did was wrong, but
Right. I'm not condoning it, but who's going to bring sense back between you two?
That is what she
Yeah.
said. So that is, her words are getting away from her a little bit, but her intention is clear.
I mean, why are we so far away? Woo! Literally and metaphorically. You're like, no shit, Ramona. I know. So does everybody else know. So does Rose. So does Blanche. Okay. Yeah. So Julia's like kvetching about how Guerdy has wronged her, and Adriana kvetches about how Julia didn't defend her against Alexia and Marisol. And Julia said, I needed to understand where they're coming from. And Adriana says, that was the same I did, baby. Like, hello, yeah. See, in that respect, yes. I really, I'd be behind Adriana going,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just, it's full hip up in this bitch. And then Julia just gets one last slam in, which was annoying. She's like, Guerdy planned that whole event. How perverted and deranged. And I'm like, well, some might call it perverted and deranged that you got yourself to a point where you would fling water in someone's face at a wedding reception, you psycho. But okay.
Exactly.
And then we get a confessional from Adriana where she gets it exactly right, reminding us that Julia started all of this by throwing water on Guerdy. And Adriana says, to me, putting receipts on a wall is more benign than throwing a glass of water in somebody's face. And I think that should be the thesis statement of the whole damn season at this point, and just be like, come on, you guys, get right.
Yep.
And then Julia asks Adriana if she will hold Guerdy accountable at dinner tonight. And Adriana looks pissed off and just kind of walks away, because that's an obnoxious thing to ask someone. Don't assemble teams. If you're confident in your point of view, just stand on business, as the kids say,
Oh, I'm so over it. Julia. I'm so over it. Take it to somebody else. Take it to Victims Anonymous or fucking I'm clueless and can't see what I fucking did in my side of the story. Like, take it to someone who cares and someone who actually believes your bullshit. I don't even think you believe your bullshit. I think you're trying to sell us on it. The fact that she says it was deranged and perverted, and I'm speaking from experience here, every time she thinks about this story, it gets worse and worse. And every time she plays it over in her head, she's thinking even more and more rageful thoughts against Guerdy. And so it's going to turn from a night where she was, okay, to be fair, she was humiliated in front of a room full of people. Okay, I will give her that. And she's going to turn it into something like even bigger. Again, why do I think she's doing this? Because I've done it myself. Just like asking your friend, are you going to stick up for me tonight? Like, oh my God. She's deranged. I don't say
perverted.
that. I don't say
That's
that
a
about people.
perverted way to try to have an
like,
argument.
Exactly.
Just either, believe in your take and let it be, or just, I don't know. It's weird.
I know. It is weird.
Then we have Guerdy's arrival in her Barbie pink pantsuit for her dinner on Lars's yacht. She looked great.
Mm-hmm.
And Adriana pours herself a drink from like a nearly empty bottle of Tito's. And then later she's like trying to open a bottle of wine. Adriana's just tying one on. And Kiki has chosen a chef who will give the girls a taste of Haiti. And everyone is thrilled with the food. It looked really good too. Then we get this again, this like gross confessional from Julia where she goes, Guerdy's here. I'm so happy. She's da, da, da. And then the producer, in a tone like my own, sounding kind of over it, goes, you're not a liar. I'll give you that. It's like you're a bitch on all other fronts, but like, I guess thanks for not lying.
When they said, I'll give you that, I was like, oh, see, everyone's on to you. Julia, come on. No one's buying your bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, oh God. And then Hochstein comes in with, of course, a game from the Housewives playbook, Housewives 101 group outing. Let's start some drama. Let's say positive things about each other. And Adriana starts. She says she likes Marisol's fashion sense and that she's loyal to Alexia like nobody's business. I can see both of those things. I like Marisol's house. I do like her outfits. I think she's a darling little housewife. I think she is the Sutton of the southeastern seaboard, but without Jekyll and hiding. She's just whatever the fun one is without being a Sutton. You know what I'm saying? So Marisol struggles to reply to that. And we see flashbacks to Adriana being cunty to Marisol. And Marisol lands on that she likes that Adriana plays the piano.
I think they did a good job fulfilling that assignment. They really did.
Totally.
And Guerdy is so lovely. It's her turn to praise Julia, which she does for her compassionate heart, especially for embracing these two new children and giving them the opportunity for a great future. I thought that was so generous.
Absolutely.
And so like in the spirit of like, let's just have a nice dinner. And then
Julia's
Julia,
face though, when she's just like, when Guerdy's saying these beautiful things, there's no like softness. There's no like softening of her shoulders or kind of like even like relaxing, like, oh, that's it. She's in it. She's in her story. There is nothing that Guerdy can say is going to get through because she doesn't want it. She's now like getting high on her own supply of just villainizing Guerdy. I have no idea. What that's like. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like I spotted, I got it. I know what it's like to be intent on having conflict and having a fight,
Totally.
And it feels like Julia's only there for that, as she has been in all these other, like as she was when she walked back into the party. She didn't ask Guerdy what was the point of that with any real interest in gathering information. She's just there to like poke the bear.
Martina, I hope you stay awake when I get home. Martina, oh, please stay. I hope you're awake when I get home. She's just so lame.
But I appreciated how this played out because I think whether or not anybody gets it right, at least all the information is out on the table now. So Julia starts by saying that Guerdy throws great parties. And then she goes, I also appreciate how you honestly share your emotions without I can't hide my emotions. And then she veers into how she thought they were moving forward. Guerdy says, we were, but you hurt me when at the narcissist party, you aired our dirty laundry after telling me that we were not going to do that. And that led Guerdy to feel that she had to react in the manner that she did. And then Alexia and Marisol, oh my God, Alexia goes, nobody here thinks what you did was okay. And Marisol, nobody, it's horrible. And Guerdy basically says, I'm not saying sorry for it. And we get a confessional from her where she says, basically, this was a trauma-informed response. She has old issues of abandonment and isolation. And she says, I am a lonely lioness, not a following sheep. And that I appreciate because that I feel like is indicative of someone who's not going to rally the troops to be on her side and have my back tonight the way Julia was with Adriana. She's just like, if I have to do this all by myself, I have total conviction that what I'm doing is right, and so I will stand by it.
I could relate so much when Guerdy shared this. I um, she tells us that it reminded her of middle school. People made fun of her name. She was put in classes with the other non-English speaking kids. It affects how she gets triggered. Okay. We lived in this small city, a small college town. Well, I don't know if it's smallish college town about 2 hours north of Seattle called Bellingham, Washington. I lived there for a little while when I was a kid. Extremely white, like 98% white, I'm half Jewish, I'm half Mexican. I had people make fun of my name, my skin, my lips. I was called names. So when we moved back to Southern California, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go by Ramona anymore because that sounds too ethnic. I'm going to go by Mona. And so now, like, 3 of my best friends in Southern California are like, who the fuck is Ramona? Who's this Ramona you're talking about? I'm all, it's me. They're like, you're Mona. And like, to me, to them, I am. And it's totally fine. It's adorable. But when I
You were
look
Mona
back,
when I met you?
I was? I thought I went back to
Yeah.
Ramona like as soon as I moved back to LA. No?
Because I remember when you started calling yourself Ramona, and I was like, who's that? Oh, that's what
Oh,
Mona is short
wow.
for. But no, I met you as
Yeah.
Mona.
That was me
Yeah.
assimilating and code switching and hoping I would be more accepted because I too felt isolated and embarrassed and shamed and picked on and all of those things. I felt so othered by many things, apparently, by other people that felt the need to say stuff. And it was hilarious when people started blowing up their lips, because that's what I got made fun of, like mercilessly for. It's disgusting what people said, mostly boys. Anyway, so I really felt Guerdy 110%. Trauma-informed response from old issues of abandonment and isolation. Fuck yeah, dude. I am a lonely lioness led a following sheep. I told myself many times, like, yeah, I am a rock, I am an island. A rock never cries, and an island feels no pain. I just started crying. It's like, it sucks. You have to toughen up. You have to okay, I'm not going to say you. I'm saying coping skills, man. That's what they came from. Guerdy's came from a very similar place that mine did.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't want to say I'm over emotional because that sounds mean, but my lack of sleep is informing my emotional response right now. And that's okay.
It is. And because it is legitimately emotional. And I think that it's like pretty profound that Guerdy, who hasn't had a ton of therapy yet, is plugged in enough to acknowledge that, like, yeah, I understand that what I'm reacting to is based on something born long before I met any of these people, but these people are bringing this up in me again. And she reminds Marisol at the dinner that Julia assaulted and screeched at the top of at her lungs at your wedding. That was the wedding. Marisol's wedding party is where Julia dumped water on Guerdy, and what she was yelling. She made a whole friggin' scene. And then Julia tells us that she's disappointed in Adriana because Adriana's at the bar struggling to open a bottle of wine when Julia, I guess, thought she had successfully recruited her to come be her attorney or something. I don't know what she expects of people. What does she expect Adriana to do? To be like, everybody shut up. Julia's right. Let's party. What do you want her to do? What are you even asking for?
Like, Julia, you know what? Make your bed, lie in it. If you're so fucking convicted to what you're doing, you don't need anybody else's help.
Or if you do, just ask for it. Just say, like, Adriana, I'm having trouble. Can you say this in a different way to communicate? I don't know. But don't just pout and be I don't know. She's just like a pouty little monster.
Victim. Oh,
yes.
She's so, she's annoying. Go stand on your yacht with your Chanel sneaker wearing wife. Ooh, burn, Ramona.
Then Alexia says that she worries that Guerdy could do the same thing that she did to Julia, projecting private text messages. She might do that to her. And Guerdy's like, okay, well, if you're worried about that, are you also worried that Julia will splash water all over you at an important event? Like, what is wrong with you people? Like, God. And finally, it basically just boils down to Guerdy directly asking Julia, again, in the most like measured tone. It's so graceful, and I applaud her for keeping her freaking cool through this. She asked Julia if they should have a private conversation so that they can discuss any points that Julia is still stuck on. And Julia, does her dramatic, the way that she agrees to saying like, yes, yes, a private conversation. But right now my feelings are too raw. We'll have
Oh,
to give
blow
it
me.
time. And Guerdy, yeah, exactly, which is Guerdy's subtext when she goes, absolutely. But you can just read the blow me behind her eyes. And I was like, yeah, that.
Guerdy, dude, I don't even believe that you still want this friendship. If I were you, I want better for you. If I were you, I would move on. You've got Dr. Nicole, you've got other friends, you've got Russell and your boys. You don't need Julia. Julia can, she's a real good friend to goats. That's where her strong suit lies. Okay? You're better than her. Oh God, Margie. I just said you're better than her. Okay, here. How can I reframe this? I can say Guerdy and Julia are probably not meant to be friends. Maybe their friendship isn't going to serve one another. I don't know. That's the best I can do right now.
No, I think Guerdy's just trying to neutralize it. I don't think she has any
Yes,
designs on
yes.
friendship with this woman anymore. I do think her cancer experience gave her perspective on that, but it's exhausting to be in a room with someone who's actively spending their energy hating you. So I would do the same thing. I would be like, let's sit down, yell out all the points that you want to make until you're done, and then we can just ignore each other. So
Yes.
it's unsatisfying, but whatever. I was just glad that at least it got out there that Alexia set Guerdy up. Alexia saying, I'm worried you'll do the same to me, which allowed Guerdy to say, aren't you worried the same about this person and what she did? Isn't that equally gross? Can we all agree on that? Okay. So, yeah. Then it's the next morning and everyone's waking up on their respective yachts, and Adriana is so hungover. And we get this great confessional where a producer asks her if she remembers much from yesterday. And she goes, all I had was one bottle of champagne. And then Adriana and the producer laugh, and it's so funny. And she just flat out says, I'm not feeling so proud after the drunken escapade on the yacht. And she wishes she hadn't let the alcohol do so much talking, and hopes that today will be better. And I love that. Like,
Yeah.
that's all you can do. Once you have one of those like flare outs on booze, the next morning, all you can do is be like, well, whoops, that was a mess. And I hope I don't repeat that anytime soon.
I mean,
Here's
if
to a
I'm
better day.
Marisol and she's just like, whoops, what a mess, I'm going to be like, yeah, you owe me and my niece a bigger, more heartfelt apology. How do you recover from that? If you're Marisol, like, how do you, dude?
You just chalk it up to the Tito's, it's like,
Okay,
and also, okay, so you hate my knees.
right.
Okay. Like I can actually move on with my life knowing that. I
Oh
think
my God.
that's it's
Poor
unfortunate,
Adriana.
but I'll be okay.
Poor Adriana. She
Why?
has to make herself feel better about her physicalities by putting down someone else's physicalities, I bet. Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it was, I swear it feels like it's just one of those like baseline childlike things of like, you hurt my feelings, so I'm going to say something to hurt yours. Your dry knees, your wrinkly knees, you whore. She called her an old whore.
What the
It's like
hell?
she's like you said, it's just like low hanging fruit that a drunk will reach for. It's whatever. Yeah. And then we're on Lars's yacht with Alexia and Marisol, and they're FaceTiming Stephanie. And Stephanie asked them if they had fun last night. And then we get these like cute little flashbacks to Adriana and Guerdy dancing around in their PJs and all the girls piling into their beds. And then Stephanie lightheartedly asks, like, where was the Rottweiler? Did she bark? Referring to Alexia, as Alexia had referred to herself yesterday. And Alexia is like immediately pissed, just in a foul mood. And she goes, I have a name. It's Alexia. And Stephanie tries to explain like, oh, I was just continuing on with the joke that you made yesterday about me being a Chihuahua and you being a Rottweiler. And Alexia's just like, oh yeah, super funny, Stephanie, super funny. Like legitimately angry. So everyone's confused and Larsa just hangs up the phone and Alexia says, I said that playful, but no, fuck you. You can't call me a Rottweiler. Like, aren't you fucking happy in Montreal in your jet with your perfect husband and your perfect life? Bitch, fuck you. Like, honestly. And I think Larsa gets it exactly right where she says people in this group are jealous because I think that is what it boils down to. It's not about Stephanie calling her a Rottweiler. It's about Stephanie having the life that Alexia felt entitled to and is not going to materialize with Todd.
Yeah.
Even if they do
Yeah.
get back together, she will never be taking a lighthearted trip to Montreal for dinner. So,
Oh, God. Wouldn't want to trade places with any of them. With any of them.
yeah.
But I'd like to hang out with Guerdy and Kiki and Dr. Nicole.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. And as much as I love them, I still don't want to trade my life with anybody. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Yes. But especially not Alexia. Sorry, Alexia. You probably don't want my life either, you know? Anyway, again, I'm tired and I feel very self-conscious I feel like I'm not my best self. I am not my best self. And that's okay.
Well,
Not
and
every day we are our
yes.
best selves. Right.
I don't feel my best self either. And we show up anyway. Like that's,
You're right.
that's
You're
what it's
right.
all about, man.
You're right. And I'm not here to make fun of anybody's wrinkly knees because I'm tired and having a day. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway.
But if I pump you with a bottle of champagne, a handle of Tito's, and a bottle of wine, you know? And then,
Oh, yeah.
who knows?
Yeah. My inner
It's
Adriana
like-
could definitely come out with that for sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm any better or any worse.
No, but alcohol is a great equalizer in that way of like, whatever ways I've learned to maintain my composure as an adult, if I cross a line with alcohol, it goes away.
True.
What else did you watch this week?
I watched, and just like that, I watched the train wreck episode about the PI moms. What else did I watch? Well, I don't remember. Oh my God, maybe that's it. Yeah, that's not that big of a deal, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's also fine.
I'm out of my
Yeah.
element. Like I'm not in my room. I'm not in my booth. I don't have my regular setup. I'm all discombobulated. I'm looking at all the stuff around me. I'm very distracted. I'm very tired. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm a human having a human experience.
It's completely fine if you can't remember every minute of television you watch this week. That is
I'm probably going to
very
remember.
reasonable item to forget.
I'll remember in 2 seconds and be like, oh my God. It was this. Margie, what did you watch?
I watched the Valley reunion part 1 and I watched Below Deck, which was a nice little primer for this yacht episode of Real Housewives of Miami. And I can't remember if I watched anything else either. Oh, I missed the first installment of whatever installment was on this week of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. And it was fine, but kind of forgettable. So but that's fine. That's a lot of the times that's what I want from my reality TV is I just want to just like have a distraction for an hour and never think about it again. So that was my experience of TV watching this week. The Valley is haunting in some of the best ways and some of the worst ways. But there's like all these lovely pregnancies, which is like so hopeful and exciting. And then there's Jax. So, it all comes out in the wash, but it is fascinating. It is a fascinating look at human nature. So
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And what was your antidepressant?
Well, it is kind of in progress. I flew up for my sister's birthday this weekend, and today she picked me up from the airport with my niece, and we went to one of our favorite towns in Oregon and we like to go and, vintage shop and just look around this little quaint town, and it's super fun. And now I'm at my mom's, and she and I are going to have a nice, relaxing rest of our evening when you and I are finished with this. It's really lovely. It's lovely to be with family. How about you, friend?
That's
What was
awesome.
yours?
My antidepressant was this weekend I went to see this show called Puppet Up, which is Jim Henson puppets as worked by Groundlings improvisers. So the puppets do improv scenes. And it is so funny. It's uncensored and the puppets are so cute. And to watch like adorable hot dog puppets like yell at each other and like it's just I don't know. I just had the best time. And these puppeteers are so creative and so funny. And I wound up randomly sitting next to a friend who I haven't seen in years, and she was there with her dad, and I got to meet him, and like it was just this like lovely, lovely event, and like there maybe it's because we were raised on the Muppets, but something about a Jim Henson puppet, I'm just like all in immediately. The second those things come out, I'm like cute, hilarious, I love it. So it was two joyful acts of watching Felt Toys improvised comedy, and I just had a whole blast. And some of my dear friends were in the show, and I was so proud of them. Like incredible performances, sold out house. Like
Oh,
it
I
just
love
feels
that.
so good when you see the people you love like in their like creative flow, like at
Totally.
their, when it just is, it's so clearly effortless. It's thrilling to watch and it's so fun. And I was so proud of them and I was so glad I got to be there. And it was just like a great night. I had the best time. So that was my antidepressant. Yeah.
I would have loved to have been there with you. And oh, God,
You would have loved it.
I'm
It would be right up
sure.
your
I
alley.
have
Yep.
no doubt at all. I have
Yeah.
no doubt. All right, everyone. I am going to go put myself to bed momentarily. I need to step away from talking with other human beings. God bless. Not putting myself down. I'm just tired. Friend, it was really great chatting with you tonight. Thank you so much for taking notes. Thank you.
Of course. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're safely landed. And yes, everyone take good care of yourselves. And we will talk next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ramona and Margie are
Obviously.
not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.